Okay, hi, so recently I gave my personal ranking on 13 different Minecraft prison designs. And yeah, as many of you had pointed out, some of these points probably should have more weight on the score than others, and that's kind of hard to grade, and is mostly down to opinion. So today we're going to judge prisons based on specific goals. To be fair, most of the time when you design a prison, or anything, you've got a couple specific criteria that are more important for you. Perhaps you want this prison to be the smallest it can possibly be. Maybe you want it to be really cheap. Maybe you just want something really fun for the sake of role-playing, or just make it look really nice. I'm going to look into the same 13 prisons that I analyzed in my last video, and give an award to the prison that most fits any one of these criteria. Let me know in the comments if you've got any differing opinions, and I'll make note of them. So the first reward we could give to a prison is cheapness. It's going to take the least amount of effort to collect the resources to build this. This does not necessarily factor in how long it would take to build. Obviously the huge ones, Pandora's Vault, Hades' Vault, understandably won't get this reward. It takes too long to transport guardians for the Guardian Prison. Caveat Powers uses way too many observers. The End Portal Prison requires you to find a frickin' end portal. If I had to give the reward to any prison, I would give it to Goo Plays. Unfortunately, this design obviously doesn't work in Java, so we're going to have to give a second reward to a Java prison. Well, counting prisons that work in both versions, there's actually two that I think tie, and it depends on what you can find. The first is my prison, which at peak only needs a bit of redstone, some pistons, and lava. And then, surprisingly, the End Portal Prison, which only needs 12 ender eyes, and some good RNG that you happen to find in the portal. But otherwise, if you don't want to prisonify your end, then mine would end up being the cheapest. Well, not perfect, but we've given out 3 awards for our first category. Next, let's be honest, a lot of these prisons put you in small containers, pushed around by pistons or surrounded by lava. We'd like to have some nice living spaces, so which of these prisons does best? The few contenders we have here are Pandora's Vault, Hades' Vault, and the Bedrock Box. Actually, now that I think about it, the Bedrock Box is probably going to be a 1x1 hole. Let's just disqualify it. I think living space is more artistic, and that comes down to opinion, so I couldn't fairly award only one of these two. So, 2 rewards given for the nicest living space. Our third category goes to the highest IQ. Guys, I'm not even gonna argue with this. We all know. Next category goes to being the most fun, the roleplay-esque. This requires that it uses guards, that it be visitable, and that it has a lot of features. I think Hades' Vault is peak roleplay. The one flaw that has been pointed out to me is the fact that it's underwater, which is a little bit different from Pandora's Vault, where it's a more reasonable space, plus you've got the dramatic flying machine bridge as a visitor comes to visit the prisoner, as well as all the book and quills in the chest. I think it might be better to argue that Pandora's Vault is better for roleplay. Also, Punv says, imagine you want to beat someone up, but you're underwater. This is very strange, but Pandora's Vault has now won 2 awards. So now, suppose you're in creative mode. We don't have the bounds of, oh, how hard is this to build? You can do whatever you want. Well, let me introduce you to Medusa's Vault. Basically, I've got a repeating command block below me that doesn't let me leave. That's all. If you want to go overboard with this, you can add a command block that constantly teleports other players away if they get too close, and they've got no chance at stopping you. Okay, wait, now that I think about it, there's also this prison. So let's add a category for /ban, and we'll make it a tie between the 2 of these. Our final category is for the most compact prison. Which of these prisons is the smallest? And guys, you love to see it and you hate to see it, but it's that Bedrock Box. Can't argue with it. It's just the smallest one. If you want to build a cheap prison, I recommend mine. If you want a prison with nice living space, I recommend Hades' Vault, because it is more secure than Pandora's after all. If you want to seem smart in front of your friends, go for Ray's Works Prison. Want to do roleplay, go for Pandora's. Good looking. Once again, I'd recommend Hades. If you can use commands, just go for /ban. But if you're just looking for the smallest thing possible, the Bedrock Box will do you plenty. The end.